Hello, Flosstube. Are you confused about what you're seeing? I have a really strange week, and so I'm not sure when I'm going to get my Flosstube recorded, but I did have time this morning, and I wanted to do a small sewing room tour. So you're seeing the opposite side of what you normally see, if you're confused. So I'm going to turn you around and show you my tiny sewing room. I want you to remember it's 8 foot by 9 foot, friends. So there may be several starts and stops so I can literally walk around things. But I just recently had a mega overhaul in here because I added an organizational helper. And so my sewing room is as clean as it has ever been, possibly. And so I thought now would be a good time to show you where I sew, where I record my Flosstube, so you can see all my stuff. Don't you love seeing other people's stuff? I do. So here we go. Are you ready? Brace yourself. Also, I'm going to tell you right now that it is windy as heck today. We're supposed to get storms later. This is the window where my sewing machine sits, the view out my front. And also, if we've ever been in a Zoom together, this is where I sit when I Zoom. So this sewing cabinet I've had forever. I got a really good deal on it once when the rodeo was in town in South Dakota. Literally the best sales when the rodeo was in town. And so my Juki is in the sewing machine, but this flops out, and I found this is the only good place I have to sit and stitch. So I usually use my tablet. I have my stand for my patterns. I just don't usually need a light. So, but also if I'm in here stitching because the boys are downstairs, then I'm usually sitting here and watching TV right here. So this is where I sit. And if we've ever been in a Zoom, this is probably where I've been. And when I record Flosstube, I stand here and I look this way. And so you can see why I often get distracted by the window, because it's right there and it's hard to miss. So this is my big cutting table and storage cabinets. I have a shelf with my fat quarters. They're all Binding Camille. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think I have any of her new line fat quarters in here. It's all Binding Camille. So I have them stacked up by color order. I usually keep the blinds down. You don't have to write me about worrying about the fabric fading. So I have a tin. I found this little goose thing on Etsy. Isn't it adorable? Little goose on the clothesline messing with the quilts. Typical. I have all my little special pins that people give me, and I've been getting in the Flamingo subscription. So I have my fabrics here. I have a couple of little things. Look at, my son gave me those. Aren't those cute? And over here on the other end, I have a cross stitch I finished. This was a bigger one. You might remember that. This mug I made when Nate was like, I don't know, 5 months old or something. We put David's beast. I think I've shown this in my Flosstube before. Because I think I've had conversations about birth control glasses. So we'd put Dave's birth control glasses on Nate for a second, and it was the cutest. And also he was drooling a lot. And then there he is, like a couple years ago. He's changed. So that's my little special shelf. I have a big cutting station and a big ironing station right here. I keep my rulers and rotary cutters and quilt whips in here. And then in here, it's miscellaneous crud. This is all notions, like crazy, like pins and needles and everything. These are random. That's all ironing and pressing. And then that down there, that one is full of bag making fabrics and supplies. So like little bits of rolled up vinyl that are left over. I have this cart. We used to use it for workbox homeschooling. And now I keep my finishing stuff in it. And so I have my glue guns, I have sticky board and a light board in here, and then I have paints, and I have other things, pins. This one has all sorts of, like a chunker, and so I have that. That's a bag of donation. I need to take that to to a place. This is the bane of my existence. The closet is what it is. I don't know. It's stressed. It has to have so many things in it that it's just got to be this way. But I have all my finishes. These are ironed and ready to be finished. These are things that I probably cut out for those. I know these are pillows, and then other Chantel 141 finishing things that I want to do. So I keep everything I'm going to Flosstube goes in this bag. It hangs right here. So every time I finish something or I buy something, I put it right in that bag. You can see it's pretty skimpy. That's why I'm not sure when my Flosstube will be. And then in this bag, this is that Gamma's Treasures bag that Kia gave me for my birthday last year. And it is got all my retreat things. So my footstool, my light, and you're probably getting nauseous. And like all the little things I take, my mat, everything that I like to take. This is other bags that I take. My ironing board. My husband's the only one pretty much who uses that. So that is, it's rough. Here I have some special little things. A viewer sent me this. Isn't that sweet? A cross stitch finish. Some pins. Quilters sometimes would make pins. Part of me thinks that I should make this one or into a needle minder, but it's okay the way it is. This is where I keep all my floss that is on floss drops. I have it by Dyer, so I ended up just having to do 2 rings of weeks, but they're inside, like they're together. And then I have all my cabochons, all my tiny scissors that I take on airplanes when I'm worried I'll lose them. Special things that friends have given me. And then I have my DMC. I have 4 rings because I hate searching. And really, actually, the problem is when I'm going to put them back, I cannot have a ring with 500 numbers on it. Like, it's pretty much 200 is my limit. And then I get frustrated. I have a ring of just black and whites. I have a ring of my very, very small silks collection. And then this is my Sanju bag where I put the floss that needs to get put away. It's empty right now. Can we get a small? Atta girl. Atta girl. These are some of my mini quilts. This one was made by my friend April Hunt. Oh my goodness. She is, I think she's April Hunt on Instagram. She is a prolific quilter. And one year, my quilty friend group, we did it like a mini swap. So we ended up making a lot of, I made that one for myself. No, I think my friend Kristen made that for me. Yeah, because I wouldn't have the patience to quilt that, I don't think. I don't think I would have the patience, so Kristen must have. I just bought this, I think it was Violets and Verses, or no, I have no idea. I take that back. I have no idea who it was. Posted, someone was buying these spoon racks, these souvenir spoon racks, and then using them for their scissors. And so I bought one, and it still has the price tag on it, obviously. And I've just thrown something in there haphazardly, but it has a place on the wall, and that's what's important. So right here I have my sewing basket. This is full of notions, special things, random things, chocked full. The other side is full of snips, and I don't know. This is a quilt projects on my horizon, my hopeful ones. There's my really cute travel case. I've used that at retreats. And then over here, hold on. Also, please note, no baseboards. Over here, I have the reason I clean my room. I found this cabinet on Amazon. I feel like it was in my Instagram ads, since I do follow the links to those sometimes. But I thought, ooh, I wonder how big that is. Maybe I could keep my cross-stitch stuff in there, because right before I found this, I was extremely frustrated. I thought I was going to have to relocate all of my cross-stitch stuff down to the closet in my living room, because this room is so taxed in space. It's really difficult. So it's difficult to work because so much of the square footage is taken up. So I found this and I thought, oh, if it's the right width to fit between the wall and that window sill, and it was close. My husband for sure thought it was not going to fit, but it it was miraculous. And it does. I have some fun stuff on top here. My friend sent me that. And I got that at in a bag in a retreat. Oh, I got that at the retreat I just went to. I have an art jar. I have my used project cards in here. So these are the ones I've finished the projects. So finally have wrangled those. So they were everywhere. My other little special things. I have a box of 16 count and 14 count fabrics. I have some cute little books people gave me, cross stitches, my little needle book, my little goose tin. Up above it, I have that the stitch that Kia made for me. Above my sewing machine, I have all sorts of fun things. So little special things, little pin cushions people have made, little pin cushions I bought, little gifts, little stitches, and I really love it. I used to have a lot of that over here, but I needed more space. So I have more junk over there. And it holds little special things. Do you have a spot that you keep little special things? So let me take you back to my cabinet. Don't get sick. Okay, it is really windy. I ended up putting all my needle minders over here. I love that. Extremely fun. And then in the inside, are you ready? This has changed my whole life. The entire way I live in here. I fit so many things. Things that were in cabinets, things that were on shelves in the closet. It has changed everything. So I have all my patterns in boxes down here. I have my stitching box. Hold on. Hopefully this fits right in there. Just right. Ooh, gosh, I flashed a pattern. I have to blur that or something. I have, this is scrap pieces of 18 count. Well, it's either 18 count scraps and then other scraps. And then this is significant sizes. And then I hung up all my fabric. I need to get out of my 18 count club because that is all 18 count. So I think I have enough 18 count for a while. So I have my fabric hung up, and then I have whips. Well, actually, these are my 24 and 24 and April's whips. I think that's right. Maybe this is all my whips. I don't know. So I have this is my box of bobbinated DMC. I'm still working through it. I have quite a bit. And I just while doing this was like maybe a halfway full or a third of the way full. And then I wrangled everything while I was cleaning and organizing. And now it's full again. So when I pull up for a project, if it's DMC, I always go to that box first to try to get rid of a bobbin. And then if not, I'll use a floss drop. So I have like my April whips and then my 24 and 24. So these bags are my 12 by 12s most likely. And then my new starts. This box is all kitted things. And some of them have all of it. Some of it, it's just the floss and the pattern. Some of it's just the fabric and the pattern. So, but if it's meant to be together, I have it there. And I have my Cosmo collection. Anyway, so this is the main reason my sewing room got a major overhaul, and it has been rocking my world, and I wanted to show it to you because when I stand in my floss tube, all you see, all you see is the quilt. This is your view the entire time during Flosstube. Can you imagine all the stuff you hadn't seen? All the stuff. A lot of times when I get on a Zoom with people and they see this, they're all like, what's behind you? Because this is it. So anyway, I hope you liked that little tour. You got to see a lot of stuff you don't normally see. And I'll catch up with you in the Flosstube in just a minute. Okay. Hello, Flosstube. Welcome back. My name is Teresa. This is the Garden Goose Stitcher Flosstube, episode 36. It's the end of March. Tomorrow's the Easter, last day of the month. And I'm here to check in. Hasn't been that long. I meant to check in yesterday, but I got busy and I can't wait to show you what I did. You're not going to believe it unless you're on Instagram and you already saw it. But also, if you just watched the tour of my room, you can see the fancy new champion of the room. So excited. And I hope you didn't get nauseous. If you did, I'm so sorry. So sorry. I'm not a professional. Obviously. So I've done a major cleaning in here. And since I did that major cleaning, I found a ton of finished cross stitches, and I ended up finishing them yesterday. So this week has been really weird. And since I've seen you, I have not stitched a whole heck of a lot. If I hadn't gone to the local retreat that Stitches and Things held last weekend, she held it again at the Davison Best Western. They're going to have it again. She's going to have it again in October. So if you're not on the Stitches and Things alumni page and you want to find out about it, you probably should join that Facebook page to find out, because that's where she talks about it. But it was great to go stitch, and that's like the only time I've gotten any good stitching in. Just been wasting my days. That's not true. But I have been single parenting this past week, so that really cut down on my stitching time. My husband had to go down to Florida for training, and it's been freezing here every day, and I'm hauling water and stuff. But the biggest thing is I have not been stitching in the evening this past week because the dishes. Forgot about that. I also did not anticipate how much I'd hate single parenting without the option of delivery pizza, because we survived a lot of deployments, a lot of months and months and months at a time of me solo parenting, but we always had the option of delivery. And here in the boonies, that's brutal. So anyway, so nothing has been going on really. I started my seeds. I started way too many. I don't know how it happened. I know how it happened. I wasn't counting, firstly. And I planted fewer varieties. Last year I saved the seeds that I really thought were great performers, great for sauce and salsa and everything. And so I saved the seeds from that, and I decided I wouldn't do 15 varieties. I would do 5. And I'm not ever planting cherry tomatoes again, because they just come up on their own anyway. So I'm not. So I picked Rutgers tomatoes, which, by the way, you should Google them. They're fun. They were developed by Rutgers University. They were the tomato that Campbell's Soup developed with Rutgers University to be that classic tomato soup tomato. And they have just an amazing flavor and texture, but they have a very soft skin. So before commercial farming, that Rutgers tomato was what Campbell's Soup put in their tomato soup. But once they got to use a lot of commercial farming, the skins are too soft for that. So they switched. But we find that tomato to be delightful. And I started my seeds. I have 3 trays. And so I just filled them up. And then I did the count, and I was like, 90 what? No way. I laid in bed thinking I would be in so much trouble if I had 90 plants, even if I gave a lot away. So the next morning I dug them up. I took a spoon and I dug them up, and I planted in some brassicas and some basil, a lot of basil. And then I planted my green peppers. Some of them have come up. Some of green peppers every year. Every year I have to doubt myself because of green peppers, but so I planted those, and that's been going on. We have goose eggs in the incubator. I just checked last night. I think 5 out of the 6 that are in there are viable. I could see the heart moving. So that's really exciting. We're babies. Now listen, there's a lot can go wrong. So don't count your eggs before they hatch is what they say for a reason. But it's super exciting. I go in there and I turn them because they're too big for the chicken turner. Anyway. And some of the girls are laying on a clutch. I think they're half-assed. I think that they're not doing a great job out there. So the only hope I really have is with the 5 in the incubator. But so I got baby geese probably cooking. I have the seedlings started. They're about to get their true leaves, and Planted my peas on Thursday. The weather's been dicey here. I've been chipping a lot of ice out of feed water. But Thursday it was sunny and like 40 something, like upper 40s. And I went out and planted my peas. And I'll tell you, this winter cross stitch body, who is like biggest loser out there? But it'll be fine. I have a lot of beds to clean up. By the time a couple of months goes by, I'll be fitter. Fitterer. But, so things are getting exciting. I haven't been stitching, but that's okay. And, was there something else I need to tell you? No hockey. Hockey, like conditioning twice a week, will start up next week. So, it's been a nice break. Anyway, okay, let's talk about these things that I finished. You saw on the tour, I had cleaned everything up. I had ironed all of my finished pieces, and they were on a board in the closet. And so when I went to do my Chantel 141 Finishing Frenzy Challenge that Alley Cat 13 has issued, I went to do it, and I saw all these other things, and I thought, let me get some of these going. So I did. I pulled out my last Spring ABCs. I think this is Little House Needleworks, is it not? You know how I get Country Cottage and Little House confused because they're both fantastic and they're similar. But Spring ABCs, I think this was on my Whip Go last year. Delightful. Love it. Love it. I think this is Coffee Tea Dyed by me. It's a 28 count, but I Coffee Tea Dyed. I'm sure I bought it at a big box store and then just Coffee Tea Dyed it, and I sure do love it. And now I have all 4 seasons of this series represented in the hallway. So that's a miracle. And while I had everything out, I finished a lot. So this is a Pinker and Pumpkin salt box. I think it's probably the sunflower salt box. And it's on Coffee Tea Dyed by Me fabric. You know, her patterns are free. She is beyond generous. I wish she had a tip jar. I wish it. But, this is one of the bigger salt boxes. Gosh, I would love to have a couple of different, like one for spring and one for fall, and just to be able to change this out. This is a board from Hobby Lobby that has like pumpkins on it. So it has a Christmas and then like a patriotic that sits there. And so I need some like longer lasting things to hang there. So I have a winter cross stitch planned. It's a Croquette de Go-Go. Say that wrong. But who knows when I'll stitch that. But I also would love to stitch a whole bunch of her salt boxes. So we'll see. Also, when I started this, I thought it was little. Because, you know, sometimes I don't think right. But I do love that. So that is done. I think that was a Whip Go finished one last year. Also, I have this Country Cottage Needlework series. Did you see that Joy and Missy are going to do a Build the Block Sal? So if you have one of the series from Country Cottage or Little House or whomever, and you want to get those going, they're going to be, I'm sure, very encouraging and inspiring. I should probably do that. I have Snow Village started. I don't think I shall stitch that. They're doing it in May, just like to focus on it. I thought maybe I could pull the months out that I don't have. I know I do not have March and April, because when I took down February, the next month I had was May. So I know I at least need to stitch March and April. But these had been done. I had stitched these in a parking lot or down by the park. When I took my nieces a couple years ago, I have 2 nieces, one on my side, one on Dave's side. They were born like days apart. They're same age. And so I had got them art classes at this like day camp thing for a week for their birthdays. And so and it was like a hike. It was like almost an hour drive. And so I volunteered to take my niece down there, and then my other niece lives right there, so it was fine. Pick them up. It was like a little couple. And I sat by this little river down there and stitched while they were at their art camp, day camp. And I remember finishing up, I think 3 of these. But I fully finished June. That has, do not zoom in on the French knot. We have a policy on this Flosstube. Do not zoom in on the French knots or pause it. And otherwise you're going to get kicked out. Because they're bad. Ooh, they sure can be dicey. I have like a 50-50 ratio of mediocre and good. Some of them are bad. The other one, I finished up the July as well. I'm pretty sure this is from Hobby Lobby. It's just a natural 14 count fabric. And I like it. It's very nice. And, but I found when I finished these, boy, I wish I had done all the other finishes. I wish I'd added a layer of batting, because I sure do like the way they look, but they have batting on them. So I got those two done. I'm going to put May back up. I pulled out my Lizzie Kate spring string and finished that up. I had finished this up a while ago. Did I? When did I finish this? Was this a month ago? I do not recall. I feel like this was a March Mania. Remember I restarted this on this like very nice lavender fabric. Anyway, so I got that done. Very nice. I'm happy to put that up. The goose is out. And I'm pretty sure I shut the gate. Rude. Okay. I also, this was a whip on my list from last month, for this month. And I finished it while I was at the retreat in Davison for the Stitches and Things alumni retreat. And I'm pretty sure I took this last year to start at their retreat last spring. I hadn't had much done, but I stitched like the wind while I was at that retreat, and I got a lot done. I ended up getting almost all of it done. I only went on Friday and Saturday because I didn't take Dave to the airport and everything. But I had kept running out of this green. I used a bobbin up, I used another bobbin up, and then I called Dave, and he was bringing me dinner. So he's like, you need anything? And I said, can you bring me some green floss? And I still didn't finish it, so I had to finish it when I got home. But it's done. I have two of these now. These are Prairie Schooler. I have the pattern. Where'd that go? Prairie Schooler. Spring has come. It's the big one. And I'm sure this is coffee tea dyed fabric by me, because that's all I used to stitch on. So now I have spring and summer on that series. So that is finished. It makes me happy. And while I had everything out, I picked up this Country Cottage Needleworks sampler of the month. I did this series when Fat Quarter Shop was doing the subscription, and where it auto shipped. And I just don't repeat the motifs, because I found I love stitching the bottom, love stitching the house. And then when it came to repeating that motifs, I was just gonna put it away and never do that. So I found that skipping it really helped. I got that done. So for my finishing frenzy challenge, I ended up picking up this Prairie Schooler. This was a March Mania start as well. It's from the spring and fall booklet, and it was that little march in like a lion, out like a lamb. And I decided I would someday put this series on this board. I don't know what it's called, a pocket something. I'll put it down below. I'll look it up. And it's from Chantel 141. I finished it yesterday. And I'll tell you, I even like sanded down the corners, and then I did a sealer and everything. But still, my stuff doesn't look anything like Chantel's. Mine's like Temu, like Wish.com. Chantel 141. But I like it. Listen, I'm not picky. And so anyway, so I got that done. And while I had everything out, I ended up pulling out and finding some pillows that had been sewn. They just needed to be stuffed. And then I had other pillows I had matched with fabric. So I just went at it. This one is Home Sweet Home by Brenda Gervais. And this was a sale last year. I usually like to put a patch on the back. And I do a mix of lizard litter and polyfill. I like a stripe or a gingham on the back, and then some wool. So that one, I finished Winter Wonderland. I think this was by the Nebby Needle. I just stitched this in January. So I think I want to put some bulbs or some buttons. I don't know. Like I like a pillow with a little decor. This is from Emily Call, Valentine's. I stitched this last month. Got it done. This is Oh Lucky Day. I showed this in my last Flosstube when I finished it, by Brenda Gervais. This was just in my pile. Sweater Weather by Stitching with the Housewives. He's so cute. And I always forget. Is this one called October 31st? No, this is called something else, and I never remember the name. And it's by the Woolly Ooh. I'll look up the name and I'll put it here, but I always forget this. I always forget this pattern's name. And this is the only one I didn't have any wool that matched, so I need to go to my local quilt shop. Whoop! My local quilt shop and pick up some wool to go with that. To cover that up, I mean. It's a lot. And then my last one was Pray Always. This is by Emily Call as well. This is one of the 3 in that pattern she put out last year. So I got all of those done. Are you surprised? I was surprised too. That day really took a turn. So I have a couple of other finishes. They're not fully finished. I probably should have while I had everything out. Yeah, this is from the Fresh Eggs. I started this on the 12 by 12 New Year's Eve marathon. It's part of my 24 and 24, but half of my 24 and 24 got a 12 by 12 head start, and this was one of them. So that Fresh Eggs. This is from the Cross Stitcher. It says display until July 15th, 1990. And I got this done. I'm pretty sure this is coffee tea dyed fabric by me. I used some of the called for. The pattern was absolutely atrocious. They were hand drawn. The U's were J's. Some of them were just wrong. Like one of them said, like the color for this, the symbol for this tulip, these tulips, was a blue. That was wrong. But in the picture, it's obviously not. So anyway, I can see why a lot of y'all quit cross stitch in the 80s and 90s. But I do think this is very cute. So I did that. Hold on. Sorry. So my other finish for this month has been, this has been Spring by Emily Call. I started this last year, I'm sure. I had just pretty much the spring and a couple of little flowers. This sure is pretty, Emily. A lot of floss changes, my friend. A lot of floss changes. I stitched this on a 28 count Lugana. It's called Arctic Ice. And you can see it was in like a scrap bag. It's got some like discoloration. Doesn't bother me a bit. It'll be fine in a pillow. Can you hear the geese? I just sent Nate out to go put them back. So those are finished. I need to iron them and put them on the board. I had one of my projects that I've been stitching on this month. I did not get finished. It was one of my new starts, my 24 and 24. Little House Needleworks, Farm Life. I started this at the beginning of March. Dinked around, just twiddling my thumbs, just wasting away my stitchy time. I don't know. Watched a lot of Love is Blind, and I just got to searching and researching. This is how far I got. I had put this away, stitched on my whips, and then I went back to it. I got quite a bit done. I have a lot of those weird little like the lady and her cows, and the sheep, and the chickens, and the corn, and the pumpkins. So, a lot of little things. It won't be a lot of stitching when I pick it up. And, so this is my first 24 and 24 project that's gone on my whip list. Also, if you're keeping count and want to know, I'm at 22 whips. And that's not bad considering I've added 4 since the beginning of the year, I think. This week, so when I was planning out all of my seasonal stitches in my whip list, I had this one in my whip pile that I really would like to stitch. I used to do it for Sabbath stitching. It's too choppy for me to do Sabbath stitching. And I thought, but I still have to stitch it. So I thought, how about Holy Week? And I put it on my schedule for Holy Week. It's I Wait for the Lord. It's by Hands to Work. And you can see it has a lot of rows of alphabet. I decided to take out several of them. One of them is 1/1, and I obviously am stitching on Ada. So I picked this up last Sunday. Woke up early, took Dave to the airport, came home, took a little nap, and got a little bit police chased. It's fine. They were looking for somebody. They thought it might be me. And I've been stitching on this just a little bit. I have not been stitching at night, which is usually when I get a lot done. I've only been stitching during the day, during school. It's been a bummer. But I thought I had the first row of alphabet and most of this squiggly line. I had like 2 or 3 of them to do. And then each of these ended up being one strand. And I thought it was interesting while I was stitching it to see how far one strand will get you in each different type of design. Isn't that funny to see? And then I wanted to get down to the words and all that funner stuff. I mean, I like it. It's a nice stitch. I'll stitch on this today. And then maybe tomorrow I'll have time. We're hosting a little Easter, so I don't know how much time I'll have. So that's still going to stay on the whip list, but it's been a delightful stitch. And, oh, did I tell you what I was stitching it on? No, because I'm not a great floss tuber. This is Forbidden Parliament. Isn't that beautiful? And also, just in case you're curious, this is DMC 163, and I sure do like that. I'm stitching it with one strand, and it looks beautiful. So that is everything I've been stitching, finishing, and adding to the whip list. I have a little bit of haul, and then I have some plans. So we'll start with haul. I feel like I've been pretty good. I was in a chat somewhere, somehow, someday. I don't know when it was. But Megan was going on and on about how much she loves her scissors. And I ended up buying some of the Dovos. Is that what they're called? The Dovos scissors. Dovos. And I got the one that you can get from the Silver Needle. It comes with a little sheath. And they're curved at the tip. She was just telling me how they're the perfect weight in your hand, how they slice. And so I just wanted a pair, and I bought her. So that's a luxury item. Like with my Kohanas. I got my Color and Cotton Club. I get the 32 count. Belfast. It's Drizzle. And that's a beautiful gray, isn't it? Very nice. I'm excited about that. I got my floss. I'm sure I'm the last one you see on your Flosstube circuit with with this club, but better late than never. Love all of those. I got my gray snouts. I ended up, if you saw my tour, I just had to cancel my gray snouts because I have way too much 18 count. And so I put a pause in it. I messaged her and told her how much I love her fabric, but needed to stop for a little while. This is Robin's Egg Blue, and isn't that beautiful? It looks a little bit less bright in person. It's pretty bright, but this is like reading a little too bright. But I thought it was interesting because if you watched my last Flosstube, when I got back from the Beach Please retreat in Florida, Emily Call was the guest designer. And she had a retreat piece that had mermaids and a sea, a sea themed cross stitch. And I ended up, after I got home, I thought, I'm going to stitch that and put it in a project bag because she had it stitched as a project bag. And I went online and I happened to have spotted this somewhere, and I bought this fabric. It's a Stacy Itsu fabric. And I bought this, and then to make a project bag with one day when I stitched that mermaid piece from Emily Call. And then I thought, gosh, wouldn't that look pretty? Oh, don't you think like fate has stepped in and made it just right? So anyway, so sometimes the Lord plans things that I didn't imagine. Oh, I ended up getting one of Jody's little floss pouches. What do they call? Floss bitty? That true? Got the one with cows. If you're not watching her floss or her Instagram with her cows, you're missing out. It's like the highlight of my day to see what her grass puppies have been doing. I ended up ordering a little bit from 123 Stitch. I got some Fiber on a Whim buttermilk, 20 count. I have no idea why. I think it's a backup for a project I have to do. And then I got some 36 count this is Platinum Edinburgh linen, and it's a very pretty fabric. And I had offered to stitch a replacement model for Emily because her box went missing, but praise the Lord, it has been located, and I shan't be forced to stitch on 36 count anytime soon. I do think that linen is very nice, but someday. Anyway, okay, I also got some Happy Mail, and I don't know that I feature this very often. Sometimes when I get stuff from people, I just kind of keep it to myself. In fact, Shelly Fry sent me a Valentine last month. She sent some out to friends, and it was the most delightful surprise. It had some candy and pink floss and a Valentine card. And she sent an Easter card. And I almost cried, Shelly. It's just beyond nice. It was very nice. And I also got a thank you card from my friend Brenda from the retreat and stuff like that. So that's my haul, my happy mail. That was really nice, Shelly. What a delightful surprise in my mailbox. Usually we just get flyers. Like, you know, junk mail. It's so nice when Shelly just sends you something wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, plans. Okay, this is an admission. I have bought patterns. And they're part of my plans. They should be part of my haul too. Let's blend it together, shall we? So I am planning to start along on the 1st with the New England Stitcher, Stephanie, on her birthday sale. She is doing a proper Stitcher's Strength and Dignity. Love this pattern. And then it became a birthday. She announced it as a birthday sale. And I thought, well, then I have to buy it to stitch with my friend. So I'm going to get that up as soon as I'm done with this. And I also purchased But God. It's by the Bay Needle Art. And this pattern is beautiful. The dimension in the flower is very interesting. Even for like a photo of a model. Like it just really is beautiful. So I ordered this. Holly Neal is doing, Hobbies of Holly is doing a sale with this because her grandson is still working, fighting in the hospital. So she's going to do this sale just as like a comfort piece to, you know, to remind yourself it seems impossible, but God. So I'm going to sell this with her. I'll probably kit this right up. But I feel okay with that. How many birthday sales can I find myself? I did feel like I seem to be finding everyone's birthday sale that I must kit up, but it's okay. I'm glad that if I'm getting it, I'm starting it right up. Like this came yesterday, one of them came yesterday and one of them came the day before. I'm going to kit them up. I'm going to start them probably Monday and Tuesday. So there you go. I have 2 new starts for April that I'm going to plan, that I have planned, my 24 and 24. The first one is Bluebirds of Happiness. I'm so excited that I planned to start this. Isn't that beautiful? So pretty. I need to get everything ready for that. Probably when I clean all this up, I'm going to organize that and kit that. My other planned start was my 12 by 12 head start. And it's this Dutch sampler. It's from a Just Cross Stitcher from July of 1983. The month and year I was born. So this almost 41-year-old sampler is on my to-do list this month. I have 2 whips planned to attack this month. The first one is Penelope and Peep. Actually, they don't go in any specific order. Pretty much none of this does. It goes on how I'm feeling that day. So Penelope and Peep by Stitching with the Housewives. I have a little start from last year. I think I started this during Stitch Mania or March Mania. And my other whip to accomplish is Hen and Chicks. I have a minuscule start on this. Tiny. This looks like it's coffee tea dyed by me. This looks like I dyed it too. This is dyed by me. Isn't that fabric? I like it. I dyed that. So, those are my plans. 2 whips, 2 new starts, and 2 sales. Sure. I can do that. What are you laughing for? It's not funny. Okay, so I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. I also know I have one more new start. Oh, dang. I remember just now that I'm planning to start Channing Street in Maine when I go to the Library Stitchers Retreat in a few weeks. I was watching Jessica, Sweetwater Stitcher, show her finish. And I bought that pattern last year when I was at the pep rally. And it even has like the floss drops and stuff. And it's such a beautiful pattern. And so I'm going to kit that up. Probably should do it today while I'm making a mess. And I'm going to take that to the retreat and start that. A couple of friends have volunteered to start it with me. So we can sell it. So 3 sales, 2 new starts, and at least 2 whips. I can do it. For sure. For sure. It's fine. We're probably still going to have a lot of bad weather and, you know. Anyway, my eye is literally twitching. I'm fine. Okay. Anyway, I wanted to say thank you so much for all of your kind comments and for subscribing. I've noticed a little uptick, and I just appreciate all of you who've decided to subscribe and leave comments. And I just enjoy all of you so much, even if you're slightly making fun of me in the comments. Like, I know it's good. I know it's from love. But, you know, some people have mean commenters, and I hate that. So, I just appreciate all of you being so kind and wonderful and friendly. I hope that you have a wonderful Easter, blessed day with your family, and I appreciate all of you. Maybe I'll be back before I go to Maine, maybe not. Because you know how I be flaky sometimes. With the best of intentions, once again. But I just appreciate all of you, and I hope you have a wonderful couple of weeks, and I'll catch up with you in a few weeks. Wait, hold on. Don't go yet. I gotta tell you something. I forgot, but I've got to tell you. Part of my haul. Listen. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago when I was in Florida, Jody from Simply Stitching Ocala, I was chatting with her, and she had this tote with her at the retreat. And I said, holy catfish. It's like you got everything in your carpet bag. She's like, it's called the Poppins bag. And so she told me about this sewist, master sewer on the internet. She has an Etsy shop. Her name is Ursula Bertram. I'm going to show you her card. She has her phone number on here, and I feel a little iffy about that. But Ursula Bertram, Gorgeous Bags by Ursula on Etsy. And you just message her. She has a couple in her shop. They're like random fabrics. And, but I sent her a message, and I sent her fabric, and she sent me a Poppins bag, and it is so fantastic. Hold on. Are you ready? Can you even? Look at it. It's still rumpled from being in the mail. It's got like a really good bottom. Perfect stitching. Honestly, the quilting is magnificent. Gorgeous. Her communication, messaging me every step of the way. Beautiful. Amazing. There's like a tube inside the handle, so they're nice and firm. There's a metal mouth. And it is fantastic. It is huge. And I think somebody I know was ordering one, and they were going to have it smaller because this will not fit under the seat in front of you. And so, but I think it'll fit above. I don't know for sure, but I just think it'll be great even for local retreats that I drive to. And so I just wanted to tell you, look at it. It's so good. I highly recommend Ursula. She did a fantastic job. And Jody has like a matching set now. She ordered a retreat tote from this woman on, and just beautiful. She made a matching mat. I might have to get me some of that. But I just wanted to show you that. Okay. Don't forget Ursula. She's fantastic. Okay. Now that's all. Now that's it. Happy Easter, friends. Happy stitching. Take care. Bye-bye.